There's been opposition anger to the announcement by the AFP that it won't be conducting an investigation into the Australia Day protest at a Canberra restaurant. The police say no crime was committed when a member of the Prime Minister's office told protesters that the opposition leader would be at the restaurant. But the coalition says it wants a police inquiry into the matter. Let's go to political reporter Simon Cullen, who is in Canberra. So, Simon, what are the police saying?
Well, Ros, the opposition is calling for this police investigation largely because they say it led to a significant security scare for the Prime Minister herself. Now, the federal police are saying that there is no evidence to suggest any criminality in the disclosure of Tony Abbott's location that day, and as such, there's no formal investigation underway. But the ACT arm of the federal police, which commanded most of the officers on the ground that day, have said that they'd be willing to take a second look at the events on Australia Day if someone makes a referral to them. So here's what they've had to say.
We have no such referrals that have come to us for consideration. However, I'm sure that if it's a matter for anyone who wants to generate a referral, and then we'll evaluate it as we do.
So, Simon, is the opposition likely to make that referral?
Well, look, the coalition's preference at this stage is to put the onus on the Prime Minister to make that referral. But if that doesn't happen, they are reserving the right to make that referral themselves. There are those suggestions today. Now, there's also the option for the coalition to take this into Parliament next week when it resumes through a no-confidence motion against the Prime Minister, although the coalition's manager of opposition business, Christopher Pyne, isn't confirming whether they'll do that at this stage.
Now, the Prime Minister has lost one staff member, Tony Hodges. Is it clear that he was the only staffer who made errors of judgment that day last week?
Well, the Prime Minister has said that Tony Hodges acted alone and without authorisation on that day, but there is still a large and unexplained gap in the time between when Mr Hodges told his superiors, one of whom is Sean Kelly, and when the Prime Minister was eventually told on Friday afternoon. And that was only after the Prime Minister held a media conference in regional Victoria when she was specifically asked whether her staff were involved in the events of Australia Day. So Sean Kelly was told on that Thursday, but there was some delay in that information being passed on to the Prime Minister. So that has led the Greens and even some in Labor ranks to question the judgment of others in the Prime Minister's office.
All right, Simon, thank you.
Thanks.